Welcome once again to Lehto's Law. Here's Steve Lehto.
Scott sent me notes. So Steve, did you see this one? It's always sad when you see an attorney flame out on the national media. Ultra glamorous attorney's life in tatters after she developed multi-million-dollar casino addiction. Kelly Garino wrote this for the Daily Mail, but is widely reported. A high-profile California attorney who fueled her lavish lifestyle and casino addiction by embezzling more than $8 million from clients has been sentenced to federal prison. She was dubbed the Lady Mafia. She first made headlines a couple years ago after being accused of swindling millions from investors and friends to bankroll a luxurious lifestyle filled with designer goods, jewelry, fast cars, luxury hotels, and her gambling habit. She's all over the social media. On Monday, a judge sentenced the glamorous lawyer to a year and 9 months behind bars. This is a lot of money, said the judge. There has always been a tremendous sense of betrayal. Last year, the attorney pleaded guilty to money laundering and fraud, admitting to swindling her investors out of $8.7 million. Victims said she'd regularly boast of her high-profile connections, with photos later emerging of her posing alongside celebrities, including Tom Brady and other football players. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, from watching American Greed, I've learned that people who have lots of money can often get access to famous people. It doesn't mean they're friends with them. It doesn't mean the famous people know how they got their money. And I've seen pictures of criminals, people who are later convicted of things, posing with famous people. And all it means is, they bumped into someplace and snapped a picture. She's also caught on camera splashing her ill-gotten gains on a months-long gambling spree at the Wynn Resort, subsequently sharing photos of the wads of cash and designer goods. But again, a lot of this was just fake. She'd show photographs of stuff that she didn't own. Her defense attorney told the court that alcohol, drugs, and gambling issues played a significant role. In isolating her from loved ones and driving her towards the scheme. She's been humbled, her attorney said. She's been humbled. She lost everything. She has to rebuild from nothing at the age of 41. She is really starting from zero. Yeah, but who put her there? Who? Why should we feel sorry for her now? So on Monday, a first assistant U.S. attorney said that in a separate case, she had helped the government convict a man who scammed a 78-year-old Irvine man out of nearly $2 million. However, the same assistant U.S. attorney pointed out that even after pleading guilty, the woman referred to herself as Lady Mafia during a bombshell podcast appearance in November, which was her first interview since the arrest. Speaking to the host of the podcast, she boasted how she could sell anything, even fire to the devil, and delighted in her Lady Mafia nickname. I love everything Mafia. Always been fascinated by the Mafia because I love the power moves. I always try to be the girl at the guy's table, she said. During the podcast, she revealed that she'd become bored with life as a lawyer and was doing something, looking for, was seeking something more lucrative. So here's the quote. I was looking for a way out of law. Law was so miserable. I hate being a lawyer. It makes no money whatsoever. So let me invest. I need to make money, she said. And then she launched a company called King Family Lending in 2018. And so they say now that whole thing turned out to be how she ripped off people. So again, let's get back to that quote. I was looking for a way out of law. Now, I'm going to break this down for you sentence by sentence because I know a lot of attorneys who told me not long after they became lawyers that it wasn't what they thought it was going to be, that it was a lot harder work, a lot of stress. And so I've heard lawyers say, I kind of been looking around at something else I can do. Now, some of them found contentment by simply changing fields of law or changing employers. I've known people who were sole practitioners who didn't enjoy it, but then they got hired to be like in-house counsel for a company. And they enjoyed that because they, 9-to-5 job and, that kind of thing. So I was looking for a way out of law. That by itself is not that unusual of a statement. But then she said, law was so miserable. Now, that's an interesting question because if you think about this, what does a lawyer do? And I don't know if she's a sole practitioner, but let's just assume sole practitioner's got an office someplace. People walk in the door, want to hire her, don't want to hire her. She takes them on, whatever. So you're dealing with people all day long who have all kinds of legal issues, okay? And on one level, that can be kind of trying because you're meeting new people all the time who are describing these legal problems to you. And the interesting thing is that if you like to help people, you can look at that from that viewpoint. Someone comes in here with a problem and I help them. And, I handle lemon law cases now. That's what my practice is, exclusively lemon law. 33 years ago, I'd take anything that walked in the door. And I've handled so many strange cases over the years compared to what I do now. And if I resolved a case for somebody, it was always a feeling of gratification, whether or not I got paid. I had some cases I resolved for people I didn't get paid on. I'm like, something, you don't win them all. But I won the case, I just didn't get paid for it. So to say law is miserable, well, I can see where that comes from. But maybe you need to look at what you're doing and ask yourself, perhaps I should look for satisfaction, not just in whether or not I can have a whole fleet of Lamborghinis, or am I helping people? So she said, I hate being a lawyer, it makes no money whatsoever. So let me invest. So interestingly, she said, it makes no money. Now, I'll admit, I know attorneys who don't make a lot of money. I also know attorneys who make lots of money. And they're not doing it by ripping off people. But the point is, it makes no money whatsoever. She's making it sound like it's impossible to make money as a lawyer. Now, I got news for you. And again, don't tell anybody this, okay? Just between you and me. I've been practicing law now for 34 years. If I wasn't making money and if it was miserable, I would have quit 33 years ago. But I didn't. So for her to say it makes no money whatsoever, some people aren't cut out to be on their own, meaning that a sole practitioner, and by the way, I've met attorneys who got out of law school, sent out resumes, tried to get jobs at other firms, couldn't get them. They go, screw it, I'm going to hang out a shingle. They hang out a shingle and they start trying to get business. And that is extremely difficult to do. It's hard. How do you get people to find out that you exist? You know how many attorneys there are in Michigan? It's like 35 or 40,000. So you want to become an attorney in Michigan tomorrow? You're competing with 35 or 40,000 people. And now, don't get me wrong, there's things you can do on the internet. I heard they got the internet on computers now. There's things you can do to get word out. But you need money coming in. Client walks in your door and sits down and hires you for a case. You might not get paid right away. So it can be difficult. But she says it makes no money whatsoever. I know some people she can talk to if she doesn't think you make any money as an attorney. But then she says, so let me invest. Well, here's the problem. She did invest money because she set up a situation where her investors gave her $8.7 million. $8.7 million. So let me invest. So if somebody hands her $8.7 million, what happens to it? Well, she's going to invest it because I hate being a lawyer, it makes no money. Let me invest. She invested the money in slot machines. And that's actually one of the things they said here was that she was hooked on slot machines. And that's the joke because someplace else she claimed to be the slot whisperer. And she said that she was actually capable of winning at the slots because she had some kind of program or plan or scheme or I don't know what system. I got a system. And no. She was wasting money on slots, gambling the money away, and buying stupid stuff. And then when people were questioning, she'd show them photographs of a Lamborghini, go, I just bought this Lamborghini for cash, when in reality it's a photograph of a Lamborghini that she saw on the street, that kind of thing. So anyway, this is a crazy story, but she is going to prison. And she had an ultra glamorous existence on social media, Instagram accounts, things like that. And one of the things that people have got to remember is it is very, very easy to photograph something and go, yeah, this is mine. It's a photograph that you took. Doesn't prove you own what's in the photograph. And so we've seen the pictures. The people are throwing money around in a photograph. And is it really their money? Who knows? Don't know. Photograph doesn't prove anything. But the slot whisperer gets $8 million from investors because she says being a lawyer is horrible, doesn't make any money. Give me the money, let me invest. And then she blows it. So that's two things she's not good at. She's not good at being an attorney. She's not good at being an investor. And she's going to jail for at least a year. And, so it's a crazy story. Unfortunately, she wasted all that time in law school because I suspect she won't be practicing law again. So there you go, Scott. Thanks for sending the story. I always look at the stories about the attorneys going to prison as kind of a thing that wakes you up, because it's not good. It's not good. So ultra glamorous attorney's life in tatters after she developed a multi-million-dollar casino addiction. Kelly Garino wrote that for thedailymail.com. Scott, send it. Thanks a lot. Questions or comments, put them below. Those. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.
Thank you for watching Lehto's Law. Character is a result of two things: mental attitude and the way we spend our time.